What can we expect from the Age of Aquarius? And what is Aquarius? Aquarius is a constellation, it is a star sign, and it's symbolized by the waves of water. And back in ancient times, it was symbolized by the ancient god of the Nile in Egypt called Happy, who was in modern times we call him the man with the water pitcher, the man carrying the jug of water. So let's look at this Happy. Let's start with his name, Happy. It's where we get our word happy from. Happiness. And another word for happy, in English, in Old English, was gay. And that's what we're seeing today. The rise of the homosexuals. Now this god, Happy, he was a man with female breasts. And what are we seeing today? We are seeing the rise of the transgenders. Because Happy pours the two waters down to earth. He pours the hot water and the cold water and mixes them both together. Thus, this is the age of mixing of opposites. The hot and the cold, the black and the white, the male and the female. The man and the machine. So, in this age we will be seeing the mixing. We'll see the rise of the mixed race people. So black people and white people sleeping together to create mixed race people. We'll see immigration, a lot of immigration, because that's the mixing of cultures, isn't it? But also that goes into, as Aquarius is an air sign, and air represents travel because air travels everywhere. So that's why people are traveling everywhere. And that's why people will be traveling by air. Because in the age of Pisces that was about water, so people traveling by water, traveling by boat, and this age they're traveling by air, by aircraft, and the aircraft will get faster and faster. Because air represents speed. Like you've got the wind, haven't you, which travels fast and travels everywhere fast. So this is the age of the mixing, so you've got the mixing of colours, of black and white or other colours mixing together, and you've got the mixing of male and female, thus creating the transgenders and all these other genders that people are coming up with these days. You've got the mixing of adults and young, so Aquarius always represents paedophilia, so you'll see the rise of paedophilia, even though that's a really bad thing. We'll see more of it like we are seeing. We're seeing it getting exposed more and more, but we're also seeing it becoming more normalized. Another thing to do with that as well is that in ancient Greece, Aquarius was represented by Ganymede, the gorgeous boy youth, and his story is all about him being kidnapped by Zeus and taken to heaven. So it's a story on multiple levels. On a physical level, you've got paedophilia, but on a spiritual level, you've got man becoming childlike, entering heaven. You have to become a child to enter heaven, be born again, like a baby, like a newborn babe. Mixing as well, we've got the young and old again. We got the older becoming younger and the younger becoming older. As we're seeing today, the youngsters are maturing faster, whereas the adults are becoming like children playing games. Little young girls are wearing makeup and adult dresses and adult underwear, whereas the adults, the old people, are playing childlike games and video games and so on. But we've also got mixing of man and machine. In fact, in the Hindu text, their prophecy was that this age would be ruled by the machine man. So the ancient prophets were always right. Just like in the Muslim prophets said that man in this age will wear dress and woman will wear trousers, or man will dress like woman and woman will dress like men, like we're seeing. So we got and that also goes on to feminism. Aquarius is about feminism, woman becoming like man, equal rights. They keep saying equality, equality, equality. That's the slogan. That's the word. Well, what is Aquarius? It's the 11th sign of the zodiac. 11, level, even, equality. Aqua, water. Aquarius, equal. Aqua and Aquarius, aqua and equal, etymologically related. Aqua meaning water, and related to equal meaning level. And 11, you got the two ones together, the 1 plus 1, the equal, 1 equal to 1, which represents magic, as Aleister Crowley said. It's the sign of the magician, the 11th number. And of course that represents the one and the one, the man and the God. Man becoming equal to God. Man awakening to God. It's the one and the one. The twin towers. The two legs. Aquarius represents the ankles. The legs. The legs 11 as the bingo calls it. The shin, like the Hebrew shin, the shins on the legs, the shin, the shine, and the shin. What's that represented in the Hebrew alphabet? It's like the tusk, the tusks, the two tusks of the elephant. The elephant being a symbol of Aquarius, of Saturn. Ganesha. Aquarius represents January, and January is related to Janus, Ganesha, the Hindu god of Saturn, the elephant, Ganesha. So you've got Janus, January, you've got John the Baptist. Again, that goes back to the water, the baptizing of water, the picture of water, Aquarius. We're seeing John used a lot in movies these days, in dystopian movies, future dystopian movies, with technological advanced society in a future dystopia. You got like John Spartan from Demolition Man, you got John Savage from Brave New World, you got John from Dark City, you got John from Minority Report, played by Tom Cruise, you got John Carter of Mars. So many Johns, you keep seeing it. John, even the bad guys. You got John from Saw movies, the horror movies, who's like this intellectual killer, very cold intellectual. Because that's what Aquarius is. Aquarius is the intellect, whereas Pisces was the emotion. Aquarius is the intellect, the air, the airhead, the science. Aquarius represents science. Pisces represented religion, and Aquarius represents science. So we'll see the going from religion to science, science becoming religion, atheism, humanism. Also, as Aquarius is an air sign, it means things become less dense, become less physical, less material. We'll see things turning into air, so to speak, turning spiritual. You've got money turning from cash into credit cards to plastic, and then it will go into digital. It'll be a cashless society. We've got music going from vinyl to CD to MP3, digital. Again, that's the spiritual, the physical turning spiritual. We got the movies going from tapes to DVDs to MP4. Again, that's the physical going to the digital, to the spiritual, to the less dense. What else we got? We got food going from the physical, meat, to the spiritual, the plant. So we'll see the rise of veganism in this age. And we're already seeing this. We're seeing the rise of the vegans. And they're attacking, just like in Demolition Man, that film Demolition Man, the vegans attacked John Spartan, calling him a dirty, filthy meat eater. And the only way he could eat meat was go to the underground and eat a burger there, and it was like a rat burger because there's no cows. So it's quite an interesting age. This is quite an interesting age. Air sees everywhere, like I've been mentioning before. So the rise of CCTV, spying. But we're even seeing this in our basic lives with like webcam, Facebook, YouTube. We're spying into each other. We're reading each other's minds on the social networks, Twitter, Facebook, so on. And we're watching each other through YouTube, through webcams, through Skype and all these things. Again, air is about speed, so everything will become faster, instantaneous, like we're seeing, instant shopping. Before you had to go outside your house, go physically to a shop. Now you just press a button and you can order something online and it comes to you. Fast food, you got microwaves, you got the shops with the fast food restaurants like McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, so on. Everything has to be now, everything has to be instantaneous. All new things. An iPhone every minute, a new iPhone made every month, every year, replacing it. Nothing old, everything new. In Aquarius, whereas Pisces was about the wood, Aquarius is about the metal, plastic, and glass. Glass is see-through, of course, like air. And metal relates to the Saturn in astrology. Yeah, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, by the way. So, Saturn, he's the man with the whip, the teacher with the whip, cruel to be kind, like the wind on the sea, whipping you into shape. With the cane, like a teacher with his cane. So he's a bit of a dictator. He's a bit of a tyrant. And as Aquarius represents air again, everything's coming to light. The secrets, there'll be no more secrets. Everything out in the open. Even the people who rule, they'll come out into the open and rule openly. So Aquarius is about science and technology. It's also about electricity, like we're seeing. Electricity, the false light. Whereas we had fire, now we've got electricity. We cook with electricity. We light with electricity. Our lighting. No more by the candle. No more romance. Again, Pisces was romance. Whereas Aquarius is about the intellect, not the emotion. So poetry, romance, them sort of things become less. Whereas science, technology, coding, math, all this sort of stuff will become more. Like we're seeing the rise of the geeks. The brain over the heart, the brain over the brute strength. The geek becomes king. The coder becomes king. Like we see in all these dystopia movies like Matrix, there's always the coders, the hackers, the technicians, the engineer, the electrician, the cable guy. Yeah, we see all the symbolism in movies, like I just said. The cable guy starring Jim Carrey. Or you've got The Water Boy, Adam Sandler, which is based on the man with the water pitcher, Aquarius. And this movie itself was based on another movie, The Life of Brian. Brian, what's that mean? Brian, brain, The Life of Brain. And in The Life of Brian, people mistake Brian for Jesus. They think he's Christ. And that's the same with, in Adam Sandler's movie Waterboy, they mistake him for like a god. He's just the water boy. And in the Bible it's the same as well. They mistake John the Baptist for God. They think he's the Messiah when he's not. This all represents the heart and the brain. People mistake the brain as the Messiah, as knowledge as the Messiah, when it's not. It's the heart that's the Messiah. It's the love that's the Messiah. The heart is Jesus. The brain is John the Baptist. And in this age, we'll be worshipping the brain. Knowledge. Knowledge is power, said Francis Bacon. The Knights Templars worshipped the head. They worshipped the brain. They worshipped John the Baptist. Whereas Pisces was about the heart, because Venus was exalted in Pisces, and Venus represents the heart, beauty, love. And Aquarius represents Uranus, so you got Uranus represents revolution, rebellion. So we see a lot of revolution, a lot of rebellion. Turning the tables, mixing things up, switching places, trading places. It's an interesting time to be alive. Aquarius, again, air, spiritual, less dense, so no clothing. It represents nudity, nakedness, and we're seeing that today. We're seeing free the tit, free the boob. Women want to breastfeed in public. They want to show their nipples on photos. You see all these, the rise of the naturists, the naturals, those who like to walk around naked. We see in the newspapers, page 3, the topless woman, the playboy, the unclothed woman, the unveiled, the naked woman. Nakedness will be celebrated in this age. It's interesting times to be alive. Stay awake, stay aware. This is the age of awareness. This is the age of awakening, of revelation, unveiling, unrobing, unclothing, knowing. The hermetically sealed becoming unsealed. The unknown becoming revealed. The sleepers becoming awake. The dead becoming resurrected. The Kundalini Shakti shake. It's all planned out in the stars, like a movie, like a script, like a movie script. In each age, there's 12 ages, there's 12 signs of the zodiac, and each age takes on that sign that it represents. So we had Pisces, emotion, poetry, romance, boats, water. Now we've got Aquarius, science, electricity, feminism, veganism, transgenderism, homosexuality. And going back to homosexuality, it's because Aquarius is the age of man loving man. as I said before, is represented by the elephant, and the elephant holds hands, so to speak. They hold trunks, representing the phallus, because the trunk of an elephant represents the male phallus. And so you got the two elephants holding each other's trunks as represents homosexuality. And of course the elephant's grey, it's the black and the white mixing together, like I've been saying. And of course the two legs of the elephant, they're like pillars, and the two pillars represent the 11. And you've got the tusks, the elephant tusks, the shin of the Hebrews, the shin of the legs. It's going to be an interesting age. Man combining with machine, like we're seeing the cyborg, the android. We're staring at the machine right now, the computer, combining our mind with the machine. And that will only get more and advance until we're downloading stuff into our brain, until we've got like a microchip inside of us, inside of our brain, inside of our wrist. Again, it's the young turning old and the old turning young, the old dyeing their hair from grey to black, the young dyeing their hair from black to grey, like we're seeing these young kids dyeing their hair like purple and grey, silver, like the anime cartoons. Because of course, in ancient times, in their stories, they sometimes have like babies being born with grey hair, meaning they've been born wise, beyond their years, beyond their time. It's the age of flight, of aircraft, of travel. It's the age of doors opening. It's the age of being set free. It's the age of freedom, of liberty, of liberalness, of the libertine, of the liberated, of the libertarian, and the liberal. It's the rise of feminism, woman standing above man, like Kali over Shiva, like Nut over Seb, like Mary over Joseph. As it says in the Bible, knowledge shall increase, and people shall travel to and fro. Knowledge is the age of knowledge, of information, and it's the age of travel. People travelling to and fro. It's interesting times to be alive.